gut feel, and then how much do you personally rely on analytics?
I think you start with the statistical side just to kind of get you going in the right direction, and then from there you actually have to go, okay, so let's say we're third down, we had an issue. Okay, well, we know we got an issue. Well, let's break it all the way down to the segments of third down to find out where the actual issue was. And then once we know that, okay, 3rd and 3 is a problem, well, let's go watch all the 3rd and 3s and let's break it down and let's see, was it a coaching, did I put them in a bad situation? Did we lose a one-on-one matchup? Was there a miscommunication, or did the defense just have a better call? So then that's where you get into. So after you dive into the information, then it becomes more of your gut. Okay, these are the ways that we need to fix it.
Coach Sweeney has created a strong culture, a family.
Correct.
And you were here as a player.
Yes,
up until this point. What have you actually seen in terms of the changes within the organization, within maybe outside the organization, in terms of the culture, the family culture?
I think that, you just look around, you got little fella, my boys are running around here. So it's not something that is just talked about, it's lived. And then I think what's happened is when people come in, they're kind of skeptical, like, can it really be like that? Is Coach Sweeney really the guy that he says he is? And, perfect example, I got a visiting coach from a D2 school in here wanting to learn. So we're talking ball, and Coach Sweeney comes and pulls him out and says, hey, I need to see you. Well, that guy's brother sent an email. And Coach Sweeney read his brother's email and wanted to relay that message to this coach. So, he's a genuine guy, right? And it resonates with everybody within the organization. And then when people come from the outside, and look at it, then they can see that it's real. And then I think they can go back and now have the conviction, to try to emulate. Whereas if they don't see it when they come, then they're not able to have the conviction to go back and try to emulate it. And then for those who are in a situation where they got the conviction and then just may not have the courage to do it, when they leave here, now they have the courage because they can see the success with it. And I think there's a reunion of the last decade, and all those players are going to come back here, and it's going to be an awesome weekend. And just the coaches that had opportunities, because it's not just myself. There's a lot of support staff that have opportunities year in and year out to leave, but they believe in what we're doing here.
Now, some of the meetings that you have, are you able to bring family into those?
If we're game planning throughout the course of the week, it's nothing for us to be in there in the middle of the day. It's around lunchtime, and for Ace, my youngest, to come busting in the door, and interrupt me, or Coach Streeter's baby girl, Mamo, she comes busting in the door. And you know what? It's not a situation where everybody's looking around. It's like everybody legitimately wants to stop to engage, with the kids, because for us as coaches, we know that if we got a happy life, we're a much better coach. And so coach understands that balance. And perfect example, he says, hey, here in the spring, it's not a suggestion for you to go to your kid's game. Like, it's an expectation that, you go to your children's games. We got enough people to make sure that the work gets done. It's not something that's fabricated. It's very, very real. And we believe that's what the secret sauce is.
You mentioned Tyson being viewed by some as that, man in the middle. Have you seen any increased urgency out of him?
Oh, no doubt. I've just seen increased urgency, confidence, just command. Like I said, this time last year, he was struggling to know which way the motion was coming from, and things of that nature as we install. Now it's just second nature. Boom, he can reset protections. He can do all those things. So you just see a renewed confidence. And then with that, in his off time on his own, you pop your head in the quarterback room and he's in there watching film. You know what I'm saying? So he's just focusing on taking advantage of his opportunities with the opportunities that he gets.
Do you get the sense he's fueled a little bit by DJ coming in? A lot of people comparing him to Trevor, asking about.
I think that guys know coming in the door, there's always going to be competition. And so one thing that I think is really unique about our situation is the competition does not become personal. And so it's not the competition necessarily with the man behind me. It's the competition internally to be the best version of myself. And if I do that, then ultimately whatever I get, I can live with. But if I'm worried about the man behind me and not focusing on me, whatever happens, I got an easy out, if that makes sense.
Is there a timetable with hey, we'd like to have a 1-2? Obviously Trevor's one, but
we hadn't even talked about that yet. We're just out here competing and trying to figure out. Today was the first day of actual scrimmage work, and it was controlled. So we hadn't even had that conversation yet.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Tony.